Welcome all to episode 7 of the trading process. Today, I am in here early. It's actually 11 o'clock right now. So we are in here with plenty of time to spare. Yesterday, I was so tired. I pretty much woke up from a sleep and jumped straight in the charts. So today, I'm firing, I'm ripping, and I'm actually feeling good, and we have good price action. So let's quickly run through what I'm looking at now. Obviously, we have 30 minutes until market opens. So as in terms of taking a trade right now, not for me. I'm just coming in here, looking at what the market's done overnight, and now I'm formulating sort of an idea for the day. So first thing to consider is what happened last night is we created this bearish S&T, and that's between these highs and these highs here. We've displaced down. Now, where has this SMT displaced to? It's this draw on liquidity down here. What is this draw on liquidity also sitting inside of over here on NQ? Is it's sitting inside of this daily imbalance. So this is an area we've seen a liquidity sweep. We're also sitting inside of a daily imbalance, and now we're starting to get legs up here off of a bullish S&T. Today, I am bullish as Lord. This in terms of a model, we have an area where we we know we want to see manipulation at this area, or we could potentially see manipulation at this area. We create a bullish S&T, and then we're starting to get legs up. We have draws on liquidity. We have relative equal Asian and London highs. That's a really good draw on liquidity. Over here, we also have a sort of run of low resistance liquidity just here on NQ as all of these highs. The only issue, where are we going on ES? This is the issue for the day. Because of this high time frame S&T here, we literally have nothing above us to look at. So the draws on liquidity for ES today is to the downside. We have these relative equal lows here, and we have this draw on liquidity, and these are definitely within reach. So that is sort of the conflicting idea coming into market open. However, I am favoring a bullish bias purely because of the draws on liquidity. Not so much here on ES, but over here on NQ, beautiful. I want to see these relative highs get taken out. We actually have a third one in here as well. So a good little run on liquidity here. One thing that I am going to be cautious of, this could very well be a retracement, and this SMT could just provide a retracement for us to then get that next leg down. That next leg down would be over here on ES, us filling up in some sort of imbalance or filling in price action, and then getting legs on down to take out these draws on liquidity. So I have two ideas coming into the day. However, I'm just favoring longs because of how good this looks on NQ. But like I said, 30 minutes until market opens. I'll wrap this up real quick and I'll check back in at 11:30. Oh, what a save. All right, so market's been open for 5 minutes now. This is how the 5-minute candlestick's looking on ES. This is how it's closed on NQ. So very, very interesting sort of turn of events. We ripped past these equal lows here. We're creating obviously a bullish S&T. What highs have we just taken? 10.15, 10.15. So we're sitting all the way up here right now, which I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about that. It's just not really what I was expecting at all to see on the market open. Yeah, I'm being pretty patient right now. I was originally thinking, damn, I could honestly long off that. But yeah, I don't know. They have not been correlating very nicely recently, which is something that I'm just trying to deal with because it's obviously not too ideal. But this would be a beautiful long from right here if we could see a change in the state on this 1 minute time frame. Just because the bias is standing really strong, like as in terms of longs, the hourly time frame. I mean, look at this. This looks very, very bullish to me. We've ripped over here, 50-minute time frame. We're ripping. Where are we going to go? I believe we're going to take these. Over here on ES, we've seen a correction leg on the 50-minute time frame. I'm actually going to enter it long here if we can change the state. I think this is freaking beautiful. Obviously, we broke structure here, so that's not ideal. However, we've bottom wicked on this 3-minute time frame. And as far as draw on liquidity go, I will be targeting these relative equals here. Super just an interesting market open. But as far as models go, this is exactly what I'm looking for, just not at this time in the market is the only issue. However, I'm sort of playing around at the moment. I'm playing around with a few different things. As long as that 15-minute time frame is in line with what I'm looking for, I'm happy to sort of adjust my other confluences a little bit. Still holding off here. Interesting one, bros. We've given that retracement on ES, but we've failed to over here on NQ. Could see it on this candlestick. This would be a really nice 5-minute candlestick as well. So yeah, I'm open to longing off of this purely because I believe that these highs up here will get taken on NQ. I think this is an indication of that same thing happening as well. Interesting one here. I don't usually trade prior to the macro opening. However, I kind of want risk on at the moment just because of how bullish we're moving, how good the draws on liquidity are. So yeah, willing to play this one a little bit more aggressively, especially when we're sitting in line with that 15-minute bias. Had our retracement on the 15, getting rejections up. NQ's already giving us that confirmation that we're going higher. So yeah, not a bad entry at all for me. Happy with that. Where do I want to look for targets today? I think I want to use this as my break-even point here. Yeah, let's just see what happens. Sitting at break even right now, only got $300 on the table because we are trading prior to macro open. Also, no news to worry about today, so that's another reason why I'm not playing this as passively as I usually am. Gotten a retracement here on NQ. That's nice, I like that. I'd just like to see this follow through bullish. SMT took equal lows, 5-minute retracement, bang. We should realistically see follow through of this 5-minute correction candle. If we don't, it's going to be an interesting day because I'd say if we don't rip bullish off of this, we will completely rotate down and we'll have a major bearish SMT in the charts. Because we would have completely failed to reject this. Pretty crazy to me lately how different in how much these two indexes have been going against each other. Some of the first times, not the first times, but some of the most that I have seen them looking completely different in terms of this hourly time frame. This looks completely different to this. It's just unreal. Like, it is really is just a pretty wild time to be trading. Turned back up here on ES, happy with that. Pretty much seeing that as a 3-minute retracement, and now we're getting legs up. Yeah, so we've already taken a pretty high conviction draw on liquidity for me, being these relative equal highs over here on NQ, and I kind of want to get some profit out of the markets before anything negative happens. Obviously, we're also trading on this lagging index, which makes things a bit harder or slightly riskier, just because NQ's taking out draws on liquidity as we speak, you know. So potential for a higher time frame bearish S&T. As I said, coming into the market today, I was aware of that potentially being the case, with us potentially creating bearish S&T and then rotating down to take these lows. So it's realistically just for me trying to get profit out of the markets without being too aggressive and then getting bit in the ass for it. So we've got a run on equal highs here that I would like to see get ran through ideally, but if not, I will be moving stops to break even as soon as we can take this high. Please take that high. Please. Potential bearish S&T here being created off these relative equal highs. We see here we took that high. ES obviously failed to even make any sort of bullish move. But I think we've just had another crap candlestick closure. Yeah. So who knows, man? That is not ideal price action whatsoever. That is terrible. Markets are just testing my psychology at the moment. I cannot lie. Like, this is so hard on the psychology. Like, sitting through this absolute duke. Like, seeing confidence for the other side. Yeah, it just makes you want to pull out your position real quick. All in all, see, now we're getting big volume to the downside when NQ's still sitting up. Fuck, that's annoying. I would just like to see break even get smoked so that then I can take my risk off the table. I'm de-risked right now though. I've only got a half position in. Like, I'm only in with 250 risk on the table, which is pretty minimal on a 50k funded. But man, I haven't won a trade in a minute. Like, it would actually be really nice to sort of get some momentum back in the charts, because we've been approaching the charts right. We've been taking nice trades, and yeah, we just haven't been seeing the sort of results that we ideally want to be seeing at the moment. Hopefully this turns back up. What's that 3 minute? Oh, that 3 minute looks terrible. 5 minute looks a bit better. $15 minutes just super indecisive right there. I don't know, man. This was the first draw on liquidity that I wanted to see get taken for the day. It's just a bit unfortunate that ES literally has not made any sort of movement as of yet. Come on. Move, baby. Let's move past these highs. That's what I like to see. Come on, man. Nice movement. About time we finally got a little bit of volume in there. Now, risk is off the table, man. See what happens. We've just taken out these highs here. So just this low resistance run on liquidity. I'd rather take break even early in these conditions. Obviously, this is not price action that we realistically want to be sitting in. This is disgusting. Super happy that I can take my risk off the table there and just leave the psychology be. So I'll fill my limit orders right now and sort of set them up in the charts in case the market does just want to rip. But also want to keep open to the idea of taking a short. Now that I've got risk off the table, I'd be fine to sort of look for another trade. We've taken these relative equal highs here, which isn't my preferred draw on liquidity. My preferred draw is these highs up here. However, ES is lagging so far behind here. ES has good draws to the downside. Actually, no, realistically, I don't want to see. I don't want to hold a trade all the way down here. I'd rather call it a day at a break even if that was the options. Purely because it's already midnight and yeah, market's already been open for a little while. I'd rather just be pretty passive with it, to be honest. Starting to get some more slight legs here. Let boys know I've gone break even. We still haven't even taken this high. Crazy. NQ's ripping. Yes, bang. Finally took that high. So, yeah. Still not what I want to see. I want to see a little bit more before I start taking profits. It's not even worth me taking a profit there for, what would it be? From my first stop, it would be a 1.2. Oh, that's not too bad. But I'd prefer to hold to something high conviction, especially when NQ is migrating towards these highs right now. It's giving me higher conviction that ES is going to at least make this, you know. Who knows though, man? Who knows? Had a big leg up there. Now starting to get some bearish volume. Let's just see what sort of happens here. Ideally we keep seeing us just rip. We've created a little imbalance here on the 5 minute. Imagine the 3 minutes looking the same. Yeah, so 3 minutes still looking really bullish here. NQ is actually moving a little bit slower now, which isn't bad at all. I think we've had that initial volume and now the sort of direction's just sitting in for the day. So I'll see what keeps happening here. But if NQ comes up and takes these, I'll take my profit, my first profit on ES. Just because realistically the clearest draw on liquidity for the day is this over here on NQ. ES, I said from the start, wasn't as clear in terms of bullish draws on liquidity. So keeping it conservative with these 4 equal highs here, just on the 1 minute time frame. But realistically trying to base everything off of NQ right now and just sort of make the most appropriate decision. Recently, bros, as well, I've had this idea. I keep seeing so, like, my TikTok is all just Jewish stuff, like everything about Jews. What I've been thinking is, apparently they are the market makers, so I'm thinking of buying one of those hats and wearing it for my live trades because I don't know, personally, like I'm looking for any edge I can any possible edge I can get in the charts, and I mean, oh, come on. Do we just create another equal high? Literally have a stack of equal highs here. NQ, making legs up. But yeah, anyways, I'm thinking I get one of those hats and take an unfair advantage into the charts. I reckon that, of all things, would be better than any indicator that you could use. Just like get one of those little hats, like a cheat code instantly. Not even like we've chased an insane RR today. Honestly, just been pretty conservative with it all in all, like a 1.2 R, pretty stock standard. But it was just what we were given. Like NQ was the leading index, and unfortunately ES just did not have that same volume to sort of chase a higher risk to reward with. I would have loved to have just kept a TP1 at this high here, but realistically there's just not enough volume for me to even consider doing that and be sort of like logical behind that. That would just be too ambitious to be justifiable in these conditions. Literally edged me just then. It was so close. I'm up 375 right now though, so it's been a decent day. This will probably be one of my biggest wins on this funded account, just because I've upped the risk this week. And last week, did I up the risk? Yeah, last week I upped the risk as well. I've taken 2 losses since upping my risk, so I kind of need this one to even keep the account in play. This is going to get me back up above 50k. It'll get me pretty much back to break even if this one hits, with a trailing drawdown of 48.6. So in terms of how much, hey, good trading day, man. Preach to that. Happy. That's good, bro. 200 P&L exactly. Yeah, bros, really happy with that. Really happy. I'd like to see this get ran through on NQ. 1, 2, and 3 relative equal highs. Like, that has been my clear draw on liquidity for the day. I want to see that get taken, and then I want to take the rest of my position out just to secure another little bit of profit without being too aggressive in the charts. Now ES is actually the one producing the bullish volume, while ES is, oh yeah, ES producing bullish. Holy shit. Order filled. Oh my days, bro. Whoever dropped a bomb just there, God bless your soul, mate. Jeez, man. Rip City. Happy, man. Happy. That was a $542 win for a guy like me. I'll bring over the top step so you can see it. Here you go. $540 win. The account is now sitting at 50.2k. So we are back in the game on it, man. Very happy with how we traded today. Very happy with the psychology through it. Obviously, when I'm making these videos, I make it a bit of a laugh, and I'll act like I'm getting pissy through this. But realistically, super cruisy psychology throughout today, and all in all, I'm just happy to break that losing streak. I have been on a losing streak for the past sort of 3 trades, And that is, I mean, what a way to break it, you know. Really freaking happy with that. It'll be interesting to see if we turn down off of this, because obviously we've taken this draw on liquidity here on ES. In Q, we've also taken out the clear draw on liquidity here. As I said, coming into the day, we do have this run on liquidity down here to sort of consider taking whether this liquidity sweep from here wants to hold or not. So it'll be really interesting when I wake up in the morning to see what the market's done. But hey man, super happy. If you guys have liked this video, like, subscribe, join the Discord. I put in some work tonight and made it look nice, so you guys should definitely join up, check that out. And yeah man, keep tuning in. This has been a really good day. Freaking stoked with that. Anyways, that is Wednesday the 2nd of July. Over and out. Thank you boys for tuning in. Much love and appreciate all your support. Hope you guys had a good night, man. I definitely did. Love.